What? Why not? Because you've already been recording?
Hit
Is
it,
that
Pat.
why? Wait, is it because you've already been recording?
Yes.
Oh. Did you get the part where you talked about how it was your favorite type of show, but also it sucks?
No, I went when you said, I've been ready, blah, blah, blah. And I said, fuck it. I just hit record. Because
okay, good. Good day, ma'ams and sirs, and welcome to the Number 9 with Tommy podcast. I assure you, I've searched high and low. I've turned rocks and lights that glow. I've asked questions and I've kept an open mind, but there's nothing in the news of any interest that I could find. So today will be a freestyle show, maybe a trivia game, who really knows? But either way, it should be fun. So now we'll start and we'll soon be done. Tommy fucking Washington, what's been up, man? How are you?
Pat, I'm fucking great. I went to Harbor Freight again yesterday, dropped another 700 beans on shit I probably
On what
did.
this time?
Shit I probably didn't eat, Pat. Shit I probably didn't eat.
Well, without a doubt.
I'm very excited about. So I went there last weekend with Fuckface, and Fuckface was telling me about how Walmart had these LED lights for your shop on sale for $8, and they were like $32 at Harbor Freight.
Dude, you could get a really high quality hammer for that price. That's good.
Yeah, real high quality. Actually, I bought a new hammer yesterday too. But
What did you pay for it?
$50. It's worth every fucking penny.
Is it an auto hammer? Like you push a button and it drives the nails for you?
It's not that type. It's not a claw hammer. It's a dead blow hammer. It's for beating shit off stuff.
Beating shit off? Okay, got it.
Facts.
Well worth $50 now that you mention it. I think I picked one of those up in Harlem. Name was Rhonda.
So these lights, they had them on sale yesterday for $16. So I was like, fuck yeah. So I bought 4 of those. I don't want to go back today, but I kind of want to go get 2 more to finish the lights because you've been in my garage, obviously. So by the workbench that's built into the garage, there's not a lot of light. And where I hung the lights, it really lit up the center of the garage, which is great because that's where me and Colin are going to be working on this car, but there's still not a lot of light in the back. So I might add 2 more lights in the back of it, which is they're really neat. They just plug into each other. So what I did, because I'm a nifty fuck, is I went and got one of those light socket things with an outlet on it and plugged all the lights into those so that when I turn the switch on for the lights for the garage, they all turn on. You know what I mean?
Makes sense, yeah.
It's fucking mint. Instead of having, because they have pull chains on them. I took all the pull chains off so they're not hanging down and hitting you in the face.
Okay.
Because they're like 6 feet long.
Okay. So now, obviously, you've just completely, we'll call it redone your garage. You really haven't. I mean, it's not like you fucking ripped anything out or fucking really, you reorganized very nicely and you added a lot of lights. You added a toolbox. So you did a lot of work in your garage. Have you finished the bathroom?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Pat, the bathroom's
that project's on the back burner.
Pat, the bathroom's really a project that's upsetting me, and I don't like being upset. So I've just been kind of ignoring it. You know what I mean?
Who likes being upset other than obviously, UNC?
Yeah. Did they not make the tournament?
I think that the verdict's still out on that, depending on how these tournaments go, but I have to assume it's a no. Making history as usual.
I'm not. I really got to get it done. I really got to spend the weekend, rip the fucking shower apart. But yeah, I've been really consumed by gaming lately. So
yeah, you've reamped a little bit, which is cool. The new wrestling game comes out on the 14th. I'm super excited. Maybe
I know. Mason was talking about going to pre-order it, and I was like, "You are so G-word."
Good. I agree. He is a good dude.
And then I said, because he was like, "I'm gonna go get the hard copy," and I was like, "What?" Dude, it's 2023. Just pre-order it on the digital copy. Oh, I don't have a lot of room on my PlayStation. Buy an external hard drive. Stop buying CDs.
Admittedly, I would continue buying hard copies of games if my disk drive didn't go bad a couple years ago. But that said, it's been so long that when Mason said he was going to go pick up a copy at the store, I went, "Holy fuck, that's right! They still sell games at the store."
Yes.
Like I had completely forgotten that world existed.
Yeah. And then the guy that we were talking to was like, "Yeah, I haven't been to a GameStop in years." And I said to him, I used to stop in there when I had the PlayStations, only because like you can get good deals on used games. So, you know, that made sense to me. But if you're buying a brand new game and you're not buying a digital copy, what the fuck? Why? It makes no sense.
Yeah. Even the games that I do buy, well, first off, they're never brand new because unless it's the new wrestling games. But I buy the older versions and they're still cheap as shit, the digital copies, because they're old.
Well,
Uh, I did finish, not that I remember the name of the game, but Miss Elizabeth wanted to try one of those. It was a horror movie video game where you make decisions and it alters the path of the game, but it's not actually a video game. Like I probably hit maybe 200 buttons through the entire 2 hours, 3 hours that we played it. And it was like, somebody's coming at you, you can like dive to the right. If you don't, then you get murdered. So I murdered off like half the fucking crew in this game because I fucking wasn't paying attention because you get so into the damn storyline. But other than that, it's like, do you want to give like a funny answer or like an annoyed answer? And they've recorded this story 100 different ways with like 8 or 9 different characters. Like David Arquette was one of the main characters. It was pretty fucking cool. I've never done that before. I know there's like police detective games like that. I might go get one.
yeah. I don't know, not really my thing. I mean, I got to tell you,
Yeah,
man,
I could see how some people wouldn't like that at all.
yeah, I'm not big for just sitting around. Fred said, "Good morning, gents." Morning to you,
Hello,
Fred.
Fred.
Pat, on some positive news, we'll lead the show off with because I know how you love ending it on a negative note. And I haven't
somebody's
told
definitely
you
gonna
this
die
yet.
today.
I haven't told you this, which I'm surprised I hadn't because I was so excited about it. My niece is officially in remission. So,
Holy shit, that's awesome.
yeah, I
So
found
baby
out.
Faith
Yeah, I found out
fighting back.
on Thursday. She had I think her test was on Monday, but they gave her the results on Thursday. She had a bone marrow biopsy, and she's officially in remission. I don't know what that means as far as treatment goes moving forward. My sister said
Right.
it's still a long road, which I assume that there'll be some sort of treatment going forward to make sure it doesn't come back.
Sure. And a lot of testing to make sure it's still gone.
Yeah, still something that they have to monitor and stuff like that. But very positive, very good. They just spent 3 weeks in a hospital. They got out last Friday, I believe. And then they went back and had the test done on Monday. So, very positive news. Very happy about that. I can't wait to go see them. I like not that I see them a lot, but when stuff like this happens, it makes you want to see them a little bit more. So hopefully here in the next couple of weekends or something like that, I'll be able to go make time to go see them. My sister invited me over this weekend, but I got caught up doing the garage and stuff yesterday. And Sunday's my I sit around the house and play video games all day. So Pat, we don't talk about where we work. I don't know if we've ever talked about what we do for work, part of our job.
I mean, I think if you listened to all 199 episodes predating today, you could put together what field we're in, but I'm not sure we've ever been very direct about it.
Well, so I'm going to say what we do. I'm not going to mention because, again, we don't mention where we work only because if one of us says something stupid, we don't want that to reflect poorly on the business that we work for.
And that is a pretty frequent occurrence.
Yes. But we run equipment. Construction equipment is a big part of what we do. And I found a Facebook page that's like horrific things that have happened to rental equipment. And it's some of the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. I saw a boom lift the other day. They hit a power line with it with a guy in a basket. And it fucking caught the whole machine on fire, all the way down the cable track to the engine. And the guy is hanging off the side of the basket like 50 feet in the air because he's afraid. He's afraid the fucking fire's gonna get him.
Oh boy!
Oh, dude, fucking wild shit. So I've been really having a fun time with that Facebook page, just checking it out. I it would be hard to do it like the live podcast is easy, but for the recorded part of it, showing videos isn't always the easiest.
You should definitely show the number 3 that so that he can repost that on what I'm thinking of, and I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. You could just
Yeah.
share them. It might
I
be a
was actually
locked thing where
talking
you can't
to
share those because it's exclusive to that page. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I
I
was
haven't tried.
I was talking to our direct supervisor about our social media presence, and more to follow, sir. More to follow. It's going to be a wonderful time.
Good times. Good times. So yeah, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about how we can incorporate stuff like that because obviously it interests the fuck out of me because it's what I do for work.
Right.
And every time you think you've seen the worst thing that you could possibly see with a piece of equipment, somebody goes, "Hold my beer," and they show
Yep,
you something
yep.
else. So it's pretty good.
Tom, I told you, I'll tell the podcast as well. I went to a volleyball tournament yesterday for my, I don't know, third oldest niece. There's 9 of them at this point, nieces and nephews. So, from one of my brother's previous marriages. And while I was there, I was standing with her mom watching the volleyball game, and she said, "Hey, my boyfriend's a BJJ guy. For those of you who don't know, that's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's a fighting style." She said, "You and him will have something to talk about since you trained to fight for a while. That'll be cool." And I said, "Oh, that was nice of her. Soften the blow. Who knows how awkward this could be because he's dating my brother's ex-wife and blah, blah, blah." This dude walks in. It's a guy from work. He doesn't work with us, but he is a customer of ours. I know him fairly well. I've talked to him a million times. Yeah, needless to say, we hit it off no problem. He actually was way cooler than I would have anticipated because I've only talked to him, on the surface, inside of the building, the work building. So getting him outside of work, we talked about his kids and his love for wrestling more than fighting, like actually scholastic wrestling, not like WWE wrestling.
Yeah, not
We had
real
a great
wrestling.
talk. Right. We had a great talk about wrestling in Pennsylvania and Iowa and Ohio, the really good places to wrestle. His kids were amazing wrestlers from the sounds of it. So it was pretty badass to get to hang out. And actually, it's a good sign of things to come for my oldest brother, who, they don't really do we'll call it cross promotion parties. We're not throwing a birthday party with the
Both
mom's
sides.
side of the
Yeah.
family. Yeah. But this guy could really bridge the gap because those two, oddly enough, knowing the field that my brother works in, those two have actually worked together as well. Not for the same company, but on the same jobs. They know each other. I don't know if my brother knows that he knows him yet, but the other guy definitely knows my brother. He likes him. So,
That's surprising.
quite the surprise. Well, so my brother works for the state. So,
Yeah, I know.
that,
well,
easy
I'm
in
saying
that
it's
field.
surprising that somebody likes him.
Oh, that's not very nice. My brother's great.
I like all your brothers just fine. And I feel kind of like one of their brothers.
Oh, you are kind of like one of their brothers, Tom.
Yeah.
Speaking of brothers, I've been added to my buddy's call list from his current home, which is it's in Incarceration City. And
he studied
so I was
at
able
Yale.
to talk to him. Yeah. I picked up the phone. I was like, that you get fucking 15 minutes for a phone call and you're wasting it on me, and you have a mother, a father, siblings, a wife. And he was like, "It's not a fucking waste, man. I just wanted to say thanks for, taking care of my driveway and stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, see what a waste that is? You don't think I know that you're fucking grateful? You don't think you could have fucking spent this phone call talking to somebody that you wanted to talk to instead of fucking calling me and sending me a fucking verbal thank you card, man? Fucking write me a letter. Jesus."
Yeah, you have all kinds of time on your hand. Write me a letter.
Yeah, you got nothing but time. Don't fucking waste it on me, man. But he sounds good. He's in very good spirits. So
that's good.
Yeah.
My brother, I told you about his car, right?
No.
So he has a 2013 Altima. He bought a brand new when he was in Florida, right? And
I love a Nissan.
And he doesn't drive a lot for work at all. Like he always, when he gets restationed, he always finds a place close to the base. You know what I mean? Like he's not driving more than 30 minutes a day. So
Okay.
He has 2 cars. He has that, and then he has an Enclave. And a while back, he noticed that there's something going on with his Altima where, like, the blinkers weren't working right. The headlights were coming on and off and shit. So he's like,
Love electrical problems.
well, he wasn't sure if it was like an alternator issue or a battery issue or something. So he was like, fuck it, I'm going to park it. I'll drive the other car for now. And when I get a chance, I'll go take a look at this car, you know? So
Yep.
months go by. And he's like, all right, I'm going to take a look at this. He pops the hood. There's a squirrel that comes running out from underneath the hood. And there's a
Was the
nest.
squirrel phobic by any chance?
Well, so how funny is that, right? That his like gamer tag is phobic squirrel. Fucking classic, right?
Yeah.
But
I
there's
love
a nest of baby squirrels in the car. Like
Adorable.
on top of the battery. So he gently closes the hood. He goes and reads up on how to humanely relocate them to make sure that like the mother, the like whatever the parent is gonna come back and get them. So he reads up on it. I guess you put cat litter or something around it, or like stuff that's gonna make it seem like it's a predator is near, and the mother will move them. So that he did that. Sure enough, they moved. When he moves the nest out of the way, they had eaten through his ECU in his car, through the relay box, and destroyed the entire fuse panel and everything. So
everybody knows wiring is a rodent's favorite chew toy.
So I didn't even think of this, and luckily, I mean, and maybe because I have a mechanic's mindset, so it's not like I don't typically have people work on my shit. I mean, like I have a buddy that does my car work for me at this point, mainly because I don't want to do it. But it's not like I'm not paying a job or a place to do work on my car that I could do.
Yeah, you're not paying retail pricing.
Yes. So I immediately go into, okay, how is he? Because we're not going to throw the car away. You know, that's not going to happen.
Right.
But I'm like, all right, so how do we fix this? And I'm like, all right, he needs to find a junkyard down there, find a car with a good setup in it, and he could just take that out. Maybe I'll fly out there for, 5 days or something like that and help him fix it up. So I call him to talk to him about all this, and he goes, no, dude, I called my fucking insurance company. I pay insurance. The insurance company is going to cover it.
No fucking way.
Yeah. It's at a shop right now, and they're going to cover to fix it.
Huh.
Yeah.
I never would have considered that.
Me neither. But he's like, I pay fucking insurance. I have, I guess that goes under your
little fuck phobic squirrel is.
I guess that falls under your comprehensive. You know what I mean? Like if somebody vandalized your car, broke into it, it's all covered.
Right.
It's the same thing. So he had it towed away. It's at the shop now, and I talked to him last week, and he said, "Yeah, it looks like they're gonna fix it all." So my dad, I don't know if you know this, my dad bought a new 2500, a Ram, a few months back.
Right after you bought yours, right?
It wasn't right after, but like he bought it, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. His main reason, so he had an F-150 before that, and his main reason for getting a new truck was, they've gotten into pulling a camper and going camping places, and their big plan is, now that they're comfortable with it, is when they retire, buying a bigger camper and just going around the country. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So his F-150
contiguous states.
Yeah, so his F-150 wasn't going to pull a big camper. They want to really get a fifth wheel one, which is like at that point a fucking house that you just pull around with you. So they went and bought this 2500. This guy, I called him last Saturday to tell him about my new tools that I got because I was very excited about them. And and he goes, "Oh, why didn't you fucking tell me before you did that? Because I got to replace the bumper on my truck." And I'm like, "Why? What did you do?" And he's like, "Tom, no, my dad, he's calmed down in his old age, but he's a fucking hothead. You know what I mean? Like, he's like me. He's like me, where once he gets annoyed, it's fucking tunnel vision. I'm going to bash somebody in the skull. Right? So,
sure.
He is in the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A. He pre-ordered on the app, okay? And most of the Chick-fil-A's, I assume all of them, but I know down south, all of them are 2 lanes, right? Because they're so fucking busy.
Right.
So he gets in the left lane, and he goes, "Tom, there's one car in front of me. I shit you not, 6 cars went through the right lane." before I even got up to the window. And it's because the guy in front of me was ordering for people that were on the phone. So he's trying to get a million people's orders, holding
Right.
up everybody instead of going prepared. So he looks in his rearview mirror, he doesn't see a car, he slams it in fucking reverse, mats the gas, and runs over a 2023 Nissan Sentra and destroys the fucking hood. Right? He
Oh,
destroyed this fucking car. And he's like, my truck, the bumper's peeled under a little bit. Like, that's it. Like, no
that
scratches,
sucks.
no paint damage, no nothing.
It's a 2023 that doesn't have a backup camera?
He didn't give it, like, because you don't drive a new vehicle that often. But, when you put it in reverse, it doesn't instantaneously come on. It takes a second. So I have to assume that he put it in reverse and hit that gas so fast, it didn't even have a chance for the backup camera to come on. And he doesn't have backup sense, so nothing beat that. Like, my truck has backup sense, park sense it's called. So if something's behind me, it beeps. And if I get too close, it slams on the fucking brakes.
Right.
So, and it actually holds them. It slams on them, holds them, and then will release to give you, like, if you, like, when I'm back in the parking spots, it happens all the time. Like, because it sees curbs and shit, and it will slam on the brakes, and then release it, and I can back up more. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's like telling you, like, hey, watch out. There's something there. So, so this guy, he had a quote or whatever, and he's like, listen, if it's gonna cost me, because your deductible's $500. If the insurance company's only gonna pay, if it's $900 to get this bumper fixed, and I'm gonna pay out more than the insurance company, I'm not fucking fixing it. Like, it's not that bad.
Erica said that also happens sometimes when she backs out of the driveway. That's funny.
Yeah, sometimes
because your driveway is angled, so it's seeing the fucking street as a curb.
Yeah, so sometimes it'll slam on the brakes. That's fucking super annoying and super scary. Or if I'm backing up the driveway, I have to turn it off because it'll do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was talking to him yesterday because I sent them pictures of my garage because I was very excited about it, and he told me this whole story about how they quoted it as $1,900, and he got them. So the insurance company gave him $1,400, and he was like, well, before I go and have this done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and straighten it myself. He goes and gets a ratchet strap and ties it to a telephone pole and pulls the fucking curved part back out. And he's like, he goes, if you didn't know that there was damage to this, you wouldn't even know. The only reason I can see it is because I knew that it was fucked up at one point.
Right.
So he fixed the entire thing and kept
he got $1,400 from the insurance company, spent $50 on a ratchet strap tops, and made out with $1,350.
He didn't spend any money. He already had the ratchet strap, so
ooh, even better. I was looking at. I already know that you're gonna repeatedly use the G word on this one. Good. Miss Elizabeth is looking at vehicles. Her lease is up in, I don't know, a month, 2 months. I sometime in the future. So I'm like a year out, 13 months out from my lease being up. And I was looking at like what's next, I have always loved the Subaru Baja. I know, G word. Additionally, I love the Honda Ridgeline. I know, G word. The thing is, I don't really need a full bed, and I have the Dakota if I really needed a bed. Not that I would put a lot of weight in the Dakota because I'd be afraid it would crumble. But
really what you need to do is put tires on that Dakota, but proceed.
Yeah, I went to Town Fair and they wanted like $530 for the lowest priced 4 tires they had.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
Oh, Jesus fuck.
We're going to pause the show. Hello? Yeah, I'm in the middle of doing a podcast, Mom. I do a podcast every Sunday. If you haven't seen it, it's Number 9 with Tommy. You can go right to...
Hi, Mom.
Pat says hi. You can go right to YouTube or live right now, or Twitch, twitch.tv/NO9 Media, and you can watch us. I was going to ask you if you wanted to be on the podcast. I actually paused the show to see if you wanted
to be fat ass to church.
Pat just said she wants you to get your fat ass to church. I'm gonna pass for now. I just told the whole world how you guys scammed your insurance company. So, probably not best if you. uh, but I don't know. You said something. That's real nice. That's real nice. Me neither. We got about a half hour left, man. I'll give you a call back. I will. We'll see about that. Anyway, I'll talk to you. Bye.
How'd that go?
All right, I had to pause the show a little bit. Pat.
Oh dear God.
Oh, here we go. Is it recording? Perfect. It went good. My mom just called, guys. I had to pause the show real quickly. She did not want to be on the show. But Pat, she said you are right. She does want me to get my fat ass to church. And then my father said, because I told him how I just told a story about how they scammed their insurance company, and my dad said, "Well, we're safe because only 6 people listen to your podcast." So, real nice.
He's like, nobody listens to you godless fucks anyways.
Yeah, pretty much. So, anyway, Pat, proceed.
So anyways, I believe it's the Tucson, the Hyundai Tucson now has a bed in it. The 2023 is what seems like the model that now has the truck bed in it. Coincidentally, my value is in Hyundai because they're relatively cheap. I'm extremely cheap, and I have a good relationship. I bought like 4 cars from the Hyundai dealership in town. So now I'm like 12 months out, man. I'm good. I'm gonna go get one of these fucking things that you're gonna call the G word for the next 3 years, and I don't care because I really, really am excited to have what I would call a utility vehicle. You know, it's got 2 sets of seats. It's got an actual full back seat and everything, and it's got a little teeny tiny truck bed for me to putz around with. So I'm pretty excited.
So here's my question, Pat. And I think you're a wonderful human for you doing this, but you don't drive that vehicle. Your mother does. Is your mother going to be comfortable driving that vehicle? And secondly, hold on. I have another follow-up question to this. Okay. Why lease another vehicle when you could probably, that thing has to have 0 miles on it because your mother doesn't go anywhere. And
that's correct.
And you could just buy that one out, and it'd probably be around the same monthly payment.
So in a 2-part answer, part number 1, if you recall, I actually asked my brothers, we're all going to go in about a year when my lease is up. We're going to go in and we are going to buy a car from mom. So she won't be driving my lease because we're going to get her a new car. So that's answer number 1. She won't be driving whatever I pick. She may be driving the car I'm leasing now that she currently drives because she seems to like it. So we might just buy that for her, or a newer one. Who knows? But as far as mine, along with my, I've lost 25 pounds, eating a little bit better this year. I also am very tightly watching my finances this year. It's possible that I buy a car outright next year. This time, I mean, my bank account is already reflecting my efforts. So we'll see. We'll see where I land. I may not lease it. I like the idea of leasing, Tom, because I don't put many miles on it because I have a work vehicle. And on top of that, I like the idea of staying up with technology. You know, every 3 years my lease runs out and I get the newest, anti-crash, anti-lane change, whatever. I get the safest vehicle I can have. I really like the idea of this one because it actually, for like $1,500, they'll add all-wheel drive. So it's an optional thing. But like, but
the other problem is
all-wheel drive in Connecticut.
But the other problem is, Pat, is that you are a cheap fuck. So as you say, I want to stay up with technology. You're buying a base model that doesn't have all that technology in it.
That's not true. The Elantra that I have has fucking everything you can imagine in it. That thing's loaded to the tits.
I feel like there's more that you could have gotten, and you don't even know about it. Power Windows,
possible, but how does that affect me? I don't know.
Power Windows is not loaded, just so you know. That's a
No, the
standard
Elantra
option.
has a power roof, power seats, power windows. It has it has the protection from crashing the car in front of you, the lane assist. It has a backup camera. It has all kinds of crazy shit. It has heated seats,
Does
which who
yours
the fuck
have?
wants heated seats?
I love heated seats. I actually put on my heated seat
Ugh.
every morning because it helps loosen up my back.
Oh God,
And
I
then in
just
the
would
summer,
sweat right down into my ass crack.
I have cooled seats, which is very nice because they're leather. So when you get in a hot day,
Vented, yes,
yeah, it's
vented seats.
very
That I can
nice.
get down with.
What was the other thing I was going to tell you? Is does your? I've never seen the inside of your Elantra. Does it have the touch screen like up on the dash?
Oh yeah,
My sister-in-law's new car has that. Very nifty looking. It looks like a tablet on top of your car.
yeah, pretty much.
Pat, I'm surprised you're not going with like a Tesla.
Tesla's in my future, man. If there's an all-wheel drive Tesla,
You know that they're
that's
all-wheel drive, right?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that all Teslas were. But if there's the next part of that was an all-wheel drive Tesla that's affordable, I would gladly get a Tesla again to A, stay up with technology, but B, I support the man. I mean, fuck. As far as I'm concerned, he's as close
So
to a modern hero as we can get.
so I'm not positive on this because I've never really looked into it, but I've like listening to Elon and how cool those fucking cars are. Um, so the reason they're all-wheel drive pads because they have 4 independent motors that drive each wheel. That's what makes it all-wheel drive. They don't have
Well,
differentials like cars have.
that's non-debatably fucking awesome.
But I think like their base model is pretty affordable, like
Yeah,
35 grand.
currently their base model is 30 for the model that I looked at. And the package to make it a Tesla, like this car drives itself, parks itself, fucking does all that shit. That's like $6,000. So for 36 grand, you have a real Tesla on the road, brand new, pretty affordable. So it's another option. This honestly,
The problem is they can't have Tesla dealerships in Connecticut for some reason. There's some weird law about Tesla dealerships.
I didn't know that. I'm sure they'll deliver one to my door, no problem though.
Yes, they will.
Yeah. Honestly, the Hyundai thing was sprung up on me by surprise because again, Miss Elizabeth was looking at them. So I was like, oh fuck, they have one of those kind of like a small utility truck bed on it. That's cool. I would switch to that.
Yeah, I'm not big on
but no,
those.
I have since getting this last Hyundai, I have thought Tesla's probably my next car. Who doesn't want a cat nose at the front of their car? You know what I'm saying?
Everybody. But anyway, you should really listen to
Joe Rogan's podcast with Elon Musk.
Yes, because they talk pretty deep about the Teslas and what they do and stuff. They're pretty. I mean, like I said, it won me over just listening to them talk about it and how fucking fast they are. Like,
Yeah,
the fact that they do 0-60 in 2.1 seconds or something like that is fucking crazy.
I love the little it's not just Tesla, it's all the electric cars. When you like back out of your parking spot, it makes like an alien spaceship humming sound so that people know that it's running. That's cool as fuck.
Sure.
Have you heard that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Why wouldn't they just put a backup alarm on it?
But no, well, because that's annoying, and this thing's like, whoom, 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 whoom. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that. I'm gonna see if I can get a backup alarm option. I think I'm gonna stick with. I'll tell you what. I looked at the new Ram electric that they're coming out with. The fucking thing is sick.
All the electronic trucks are fucking crazy.
They're sick.
I saw electric, maybe F-150. I can't remember. Whatever it was.
Yeah, the Lightning.
I was like, Jesus, fuck, that thing looks crazy.
The Ram that they're coming out with looks fucking stupid sick. The problem is, for people who pay for electricity, like myself, that can't get solar, the cost to charge these things is not cheap. And I always thought that the Tesla charging stations were free. They are not. And a 45-minute charge, which in theory gives you a full charge, costs like $60. So, with that math, it's the same cost of driving a fucking gasoline vehicle.
Right.
So it really doesn't save you any money.
To that point, my solar panel company told me the whole first year, because I would call him bitch when I got my electric bill and it'd be like 30 or $60. And I'd be like, dude, this like it's less, but it's nothing to fucking bat an eye at. And like, no, it's really your savings start in your second year after you've had a full summer. You'll notice the difference. I'm like, fuck you. Like, no, I won't. So I just mentally banked it the whole time. It's March, right? I have not had an electric bill that hit $10 yet. I have not. I've not paid $10 for electricity for any month this winter. Every one of them it's a delivery charge. It's $9.67 every month. That's what I pay in electric. It's fucking great.
That's nice. Yeah, I can't get enough.
I'm running incredible amounts of electricity.
I can't get enough solar off my house to offset my electric bill. And everybody's like, "Oh, well, we can cut it in half," but then you have to, because I don't know if it's better to lease or finance the solar panels. Part of me wants say financing is the way to go because you get a huge tax write off the first year, where you write off like 60% of it or some shit like that. So you get like, I don't know, like 20 grand back from it or whatever.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, if you lease them, it's never your problem if something breaks. You know what I mean?
It's a beautiful thing.
So it's 6 one, half dozen the other. But at the same time, just because I can't produce enough solar off my house, like it really doesn't make sense to pay both.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They tried a short time ago. I ended up just not answering them, so maybe they'll try again. I never said no. But they basically want to put a bank inside my basement, which is according to them about the size of a suitcase. And it goes on the wall.
Yeah, so if the power goes out, you have power.
Well, my street. If the power goes out, my whole street will have power off of this fucking suitcase thing in my basement. And I'm like, well, I would like to do that just because it seems like a good thing to do for everybody. But I also feel like if that's the case, shouldn't I be able to control the rate of electricity at that? Like, you're getting it from me. You set the prices when you give me power. I want to set the prices when I give people power. And I'm thinking an outrageous amount.
I don't see how that's safe, only because, I don't know if you know how generators work when you wire them up to your house, right? But when you wire up a generator to your house, if you're going to do it the right way, what you get is a switch box, right? So what you do is you pull the switch and it switches from pulling street power to just your generator. But the main thing that this does is it disconnects you from the road.
Electricity backwards.
Yes. And it can't send it out of your house. So in this theory, they would send it out of your house and energize the lines. The problem with that is that if the power's out on the street and a lineman goes to fix it, it's going to be an energized line.
Well, couldn't you add, I don't know how many electrical lines run to your house, but if there's two, let's say, couldn't you add a third line and feed that one to the rest of the street? Well, would anybody care if there's a third line running?
Well, the problem is, right, it's going to, you can't, because in order to power the circuit breakers in your house, it's a feed in. And in order to feed it, even if you tied in that third line to the same feed, right? Once you feed it into the same feed, it's feeding the main line. You get what I'm saying?
No, what I'm saying is, why don't tie into the main one, tie into the suitcase and feed out.
Yes.
And then have another inline to all of the other houses. So they could actually flip a switch just like a generator, but I'm the generator. Maybe that's how it works. Maybe they just go door to door and they're like, hey, we have this service that we can offer you. You'll still have electricity during power outages.
I don't think because in that theory, you would need to have a second circuit breaker in your house to do that.
They may put a fucking, who knows how they do it, man. I didn't answer.
But to put a whole,
they were like, you have, the deal was running out in October of last year for some huge kickback. And all I wanted was evidence. I was like, can you send me something in writing that explains what you're explaining? And they were like, yeah, no problem. And then like a week later, because it was like 2 weeks into October when they asked me, then like a week later they called and they were like, hey, you still haven't answered us. And I was like, I got zero information on it. I requested information on it. And they were like, oh, we're so sorry. We'll get it to you tonight. And I never heard from them again. So I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to reach out to them. Obviously, I very clearly was like, I'm interested in this, but I'm a little weary.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, sure, no problem, man. We'll comfort you. And then they never did. That just made me more weary. I'm not going to fucking reach out and be like, hey, send me that shit, man. I want to save $20.
Yeah, I don't know how that whole solar, because they put in a switch on the outside of your house and all, like, I'm not an electrician, so I really don't understand it. But in my head, that wouldn't work. Only because you'd have to add in a second circuit panel, which means you would have to rewire everything in your house, right? It's too, in my head, it's too complicated. But again, I'm not an electrician. I know enough to get
maybe if they
myself
sent more
killed
information, we would have the answers that we're looking for on this one, but they didn't.
I know enough to burn my house down. That's pretty much all I know.
That's quite a bit. That's
you
good.
know what I've gotten really into is watching electricians on TikTok.
Oh my God, you and fucking Sanchez.
I watch electricians on TikTok, HVAC guys on TikTok.
Sanchez watches welders on YouTube like it's the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, why not?
He loves it.
I invited him over yesterday too. He didn't come over either. Fucking prick.
I gotta tell you, bro. I've seen some of the work that he's done lately, like the beads that he lays in welding.
He's nasty.
He's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful. And it's weird that I have any interest in this whatsoever, but I know what right looks like. You know what I mean? I couldn't do it myself. I don't know how he does it, but the shit that he's doing looks like it was done by a machine. And you're like, that's fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah, he's nasty.
I try not to blow up his ego too much because, you know, he knows he's good.
Yeah, it's already fucking as big, like his head can barely fit through the door. So.
But yeah, no, he's fucking good, man. God, he's good.
So anyway, Pat, you wanted to I'm just gonna skip the meme section. We're 40 minutes into the show. So
that's fine, we can put him on the next timeline.
You wanna do some movie reviews?
Yeah, we haven't really talked about this stuff recently. I'll start with I think I had 1923 on there. 1923, the follow-up to 1888. 1883, my bad. Really good. Very dry. If you didn't like 1883, Tom, you will not like 1923.
Why not?
It was equally dry. At the beginning, we actually went online and found a family tree because they don't do a good job from the rip explaining who the fuck everybody is. Because now, like, people have died and people have kids, and we're skipping a generation, right? Or we're moving up a generation. So, you know, like the pretty blonde girl dies at the end of 1883. Spoiler alert. I mean, she announces that in the first episode. So this is the next generation, what would be her children. It's good. There's one character who's basically coming in to save the day, who the entire show, his storyline is just about him making it to America. Harrison Ford, Han Solo, for those of you keeping score, has a good storyline. There's a lot of good shit in it. The woman who plays Harrison Ford's wife is fantastic in it. She's like this, you know, Harrison Ford is injured. I'll try not to share any details. Harrison Ford's injured and she needs to take a more active, or in this particular case, manly role. And she does an awesome job at it. It's a good action. There's a bunch of good accents, some Irish or Scottish, something like that, guys in the show. I got no beef. There's not much I can give on it because it's all fucking like backstory to this point. It's all leading up to it's the whole season is being done in two parts. So the first part is over. The second part seems like it's just going to be a bunch of fucking killing because the first part really, really lays out the story. But so without that family tree,
are they doing it like they did Yellowstone this season, where they're doing half it and then taking a fucking forever break? So I haven't watched the first part of Yellowstone because I can't watch the whole season and just binge it, because that's how I watch my shows, is I binge them. Oh fuck, the new Ted Lasso comes out, I think fucking Tuesday.
So good. So fucking good.
I think it comes out on the 14th, right?
I don't know. I know the wrestling game comes out on the 14th. Hopefully that will occupy my time. We'll see if it's any good.
Pretty excited about the new Ted Lasso coming out. But
Ted Lasso, Tom, is Ted Lasso the most well-rounded show in the last 20 years?
Not about 20 years. It's a good show though. It has good humor in it. It has a good storyline. The way they ended the last season was fucking dynamite. So I left you on this cliffhanger. But it's an overall good comedy. It's a good, it's a feel-good comedy with a great storyline. You know, like with like Friends and stuff, sometimes it just kind of dragged on. You know what I mean? Like, and that's my favorite show of all time.
Friends was fucking immaculately done.
Well, but the seasons were so long and they were every year. We're like, now we're getting into this thing like with COVID and everything. There's big breaks in between the shows.
Yeah.
And we have the ability to binge them. We've totally changed the way that we consume television shows, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, you sit there for a weekend, you watch every single episode they make for the season, and you're done. You know, it's more like watching a really long movie.
I don't get to do that because Miss Elizabeth's only here on the weekends, so we get to watch. We'll watch one episode per week of. We watched 1923 together. What's the other one that we watched? Oh, The Last of Us was really, really good.
So everybody's talking about this show as well. That might be a show that I have to watch here coming up because everybody is talking about it.
Yeah, no, it was good. Did you watch Wednesday, or still you're not into that?
What's Wednesday?
It's like a spinoff of the Addams Family. It's about Wednesday Addams.
Would not watch that. Nope.
That was really, really good. But I don't know, like I don't even know how they captivated the young audience, because the young audience doesn't understand the Addams Family. They don't remember the Addams Family. The Addams Family's really, really dark humor. Like they talk about death as like a privilege. And the young audience just kind of picked up on Wednesday and was okay with it. It did really well. I don't get it.
Well,
For me, I wanted to know if they were going to stick to the same formula, and they did. They did a really good job making it like true Addams Family humor. But I get that because I'm fucking 38 years old. I don't even understand how the young audience can tolerate it.
Yeah, I was never a big Addams Family guy.
I loved them.
Well, you're into that dark, like because they're not horror, but that dark death.
Well, they're horror comedy.
Yeah,
It's a thing.
Yeah, and I'm not into horror at all. So,
off of that, the girl who plays Wednesday Addams was also one of two main characters in Scream 6. Look at that. That's my fucking cup. $10. That's right. It's got Ghostface on the top. Super worth it. I've been drinking out of it for days.
So good.
Scream 6 keeps to the franchise tradition of explaining what's happening in the movie while it's happening in the movie, which I always find extremely entertaining. They've done it in all 6 movies. They've nailed it in all 6 movies, starting with, Matthew Lillard explaining in the original Scream the rules of a horror movie. And in part 5, they had, the rules of bringing back all the original cast members. And in Scream 2, they had all the rules of a sequel. Randy explained it. So in this one, they were explaining that the remake after the callback of all the main characters will be more like the original sequel. So they're talking about Scream 2 and kind of making a movie just like Scream 2, which they did in every facet. Very different, but very similar to the original sequel. Not a huge fan of the reveal at the end, because obviously Scream has the big reveal of who the killer is. It makes sense. I'm fine with it. I'm not like against it, but I got to tell you, I was really, really hoping that Matthew Lillard, Stu, was the killer in Scream 6. And he is not. He's not in the movie. He dies in the first one. The TV falls on his head. But there's always been this rumor that he didn't die, and that somehow, he got away. So they actually reference it in Scream 6, because there's this room that like an obsessed horror fan has made with all this like merchandise from the original movies and the original like killers costumes and the weapons and stuff. And there's the TV that fell on Matthew Lillard's head, and one of the girls is like, "Oh, I heard he actually didn't die from that, but who knows?" And I was like, "Oh my god, they even fucking mentioned it. Like he's definitely going to be the killer." Yeah, he's not. But it was good. It was really good.
Yeah, Colin went and saw it last night. So
nice.
He said it was good. He said he enjoyed it. Erica just texted us and said she wants to see this. It's called Champions. The new Champions movie is set to be released worldwide today, and it spotlights people with different abilities.
Oh my god, yes.
This PG-13. Can I finish reading this? This PG-13 feel-good comedy allows the story of a special Olympics basketball team, and it featured stellar cast, including Woody Harrelson, Caitlin Olsen, Matthew Von Der, whatever, Cheech Martin.
Can you finish reading it?
And others. Our own Alan got to preview the movie and highly recommends it.
Yeah, Tom, have you seen The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville?
No.
Okay. First off, everybody should see The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville. So this is the second movie that I know of, Champions, where in The Ringer they brought in legitimately hold
Special
on,
needs
how
kids.
am I going to say? Yeah, special needs actors, and paid them to take part in the movie. They didn't make fun of them in the movie. They made light of the situation. You know, it is what it is. These people are dealing with very specific things. And in that movie, The Ringer, they're so fucking funny. Like there's a scene where Johnny Knoxville lies about where they were, and he's like, you know, we went and we had a good day, and then we went out and got ice cream, and he like tells this huge elaborate lie to everybody at the Special Olympics. The movie's about Johnny Knoxville joins the Special Olympics to win a cash prize, so he has to pretend to be special needs. But after he's done explaining this whole thing, one of the kids goes, "When the fuck did we get ice cream?" And it's so fucking funny to see him say it. So this new movie, Champions, I can't fucking wait because it looks like it's some of the same actors, and they were fucking amazing in The Ringer. It's gonna be awesome.
Said, "Oh my Lanta."
Yep. They dropped the "Oh my Lanta" line. Oh, it's gonna be so good.
Maybe that's a movie I'll have to watch. It sounds interesting.
The Ringer's funny as shit.
Pat, I haven't been watching any shows, to be honest with you. Oh, you know what I did watch? Last Thursday I wasn't having a great day. So I skipped pool and I came home and I watched the Murdaugh Murders with Colin.
Yeah.
Have you seen that on Netflix? The special that they did about them?
No, the documentary I'm currently working on is Save the Last Dance. Jesus Christ, not the Julia fucking Stiles movie. The Last Dance with the Bulls team.
Oh yeah,
I will watch the Murdaugh Murders when I'm done with The Last Dance.
I watched that. It was pretty good. I liked it.
It's so fucking interesting.
It is
how they had so they three-peated twice. They won 3 championships in a row, 2 separate occasions. And the second occasion, halfway through the second championship season, they make a decision that the team is getting too old. Phil Jackson's out. Everybody's out. They'll keep Jordan and they'll trade off their old talent for young guys because they need to keep winning championships. Again, this is months before they won a second championship and a year before they won a third. They made this decision. And after the second season, like at the end of the championship game, they interviewed Jordan, and Jordan's statement was, "If Phil Jackson's not back next year, neither are we." And everybody was just like, what? Like, why would Phil Jackson not be back next year? Why? What the fuck is going on right now? And it was a big secret that the Bulls were keeping, and Jordan found out from Phil Jackson. So nobody knew that Jordan knew, and the whole fucking team knew because Jordan had already talked to them all. And that's like the beginning of the documentary. God, it's fucking good. They go long form on like Jordan's past, Phil Jackson's past, Scottie Pippen's past, Dennis Rodman's past, and his weekend in Vegas, which is that movie's coming out. It's called 72 Hours in Vegas. And it's a movie about Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra in Vegas during that time.
Have you ever, you're not big on stand-up comedies? First off,
I love stand-up comedy. I watch stand-up comedy all the time.
Did you watch the new Chris Rock one?
I haven't, man. It's cute. I can't wait.
But
I'm trying to get through The Last Dance. I'm really trying. I don't have a lot of time. You have got
to watch that. He fucking, first off, he crushed it, but he also buries the fuck out of Will Smith, which was awesome.
Oh, I'm sure. I would too. Dude, so Will Smith wants to go up there and act like he's still from fucking downtown Philly and he hasn't fucking progressed in life and he wants to act like a little fucking hood rat. No problem. You know what I'm good at? I'm good at fucking comedy. Watch me hit you back. Watch me do nothing in that moment. Watch me write jokes like I fucking do because I'm the best at it. I'm one of the best at it. And watch me fucking end you. I hope Will Smith pays dearly for what he did because of fucking Chris
He said
Rock
that he's
funny.
very it came out that he's very offended by what he said. He called him a bitch, yo. He straight up calls him a bitch.
Good. You get me on fucking live TV. What am I going to do back that I'm not going to go to jail for?
Yo, I so badly want to tell you what he says at like how the last sentence of his show, and then he slams the mic down. Dude, it was fucking awesome. It was fucking awesome.
I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah, he did a great job with that. But do you know who Bert Kreischer is? The guy who takes off his shirt?
The dude who never has a shirt on, yeah.
You know what he's famous for, right? His like the thing that made him famous
Catchphrase.
was the night he joined the Russian mafia. You ever see that? And they call him the Machine.
Yeah, I definitely saw it. I think actually you sent it to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Erica sent it to me. I don't know. But I've definitely seen it long time ago.
So they made a movie about that.
I did see the preview for that.
Yes, it looks good. And Sebastian Maniscalco is coming out with a movie about his dad.
Yeah, making fun of Robert De Niro for talking Italian looks funny as shit.
Yeah, it looks fucking hilarious. So I'm pretty excited about those.
What is all this? What are you doing over
here? Yeah. So pretty excited about that. Yeah, some good shows coming up. Some good movies coming up. I might have to check out those too.
They picked up a second season of Wednesday as well, so that's coming out.
Oh, super exciting.
I'm very excited.
I can't believe you're just watching The Last Dance. That's been out for years.
Yeah, I don't like Michael Jordan. Never did. I thought he had a bad attitude. Watching this has definitely changed my opinion of him fairly dramatically. I absolutely hated Scottie Pippen, and I could not have had him more wrongly pegged. And I may be Scottie Pippen's biggest fan at this point. Dude, watching this documentary and them talking about, he's like second in points, second in assists, sixth in rebounds. He's all these fucking things. And he's 162nd in fucking pay. And they're interviewing him and they're like, you have to be offended by that, right? And he's like, nah, man, my time will come. And they're like, well, Scottie, like, this is your time. This is the best you're ever going to be. And he's like, okay. Like, yeah. It's not like they don't pay me. And he's just so fucking cool about it. And
humble. He's humble. He's not like
incredibly humble. He's from Arkansas. The fact that he just lives up to that small town Arkansas boy fucking image. And they're talking about his agent. They're interviewing his agent, and they're like, "Why would you let Scottie take that deal?" And he's like, "No. I told Scottie not to take that fucking deal. I told Michael not to take his fucking deal." And both of them said the same fucking thing because they're both podunk fucking downtown fucking hillbillies. They both said, this is a 7-year, $10 million deal. That's what Scottie Pippen's first deal was. 7 years, $10 million. And his agent went, you can make so much more money than this. Take a 2 or 3 year deal and come back and get paid. And Scottie went, anybody else going to guarantee my family $10 million? No. So why would I risk breaking my ankle and not taking care of my family in the future? I will take $10 million and my family will never want for money again. I'll take that deal all day, every day. And I'm like, man, that is the kind of guy that I want to watch.
Yeah.
I wish I could go back and watch that Bulls team now. I wouldn't because it's already happened. And sports is weird when you watch it again.
Yeah. You already know how it ends. It's like
yeah.
It's not like watching a movie that you already know how it ends. Like, it's hard to explain.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You lose so much magic in sports when it's a replay.
But I know people that are like that. That once they watch a movie once, they never watch it again. Like,
yeah, I don't rewatch other than comedies and horrors. I don't rewatch movies.
I do.
And comedies is debatable. It has to be like Dumb and Dumber, where everything is everything in it is a joke.
From all the movies to pick, you pick Dumb and Dumber.
You don't like Dumb and Dumber?
It's okay.
Oh my god! What movie's funnier than Dumb and Dumber?
There's a lot of them out there.
Name one.
Oh, there's actually a new movie. It's definitely not funnier than Dumb and Dumber, but it's pretty good. It's with Seth. The kid from fucking Wolf of Wall Street. In fucking, what's his fucking name, man? The fat kid.
Seth Rogen?
No,
are you thinking of Jonah Hill?
There you go, Jonah Hill. It's with Jonah Hill and Chris and Eddie Murphy. Yeah, You People. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good. I watched that on Netflix.
That as well. I haven't watched it yet.
It was pretty good. I watched that the other day. There's another one too with Mark Wahlberg and
Denzel Washington, 21 Guns.
Yep, pretty good.
I have all these queued, man. I never have time to watch movies, but I sign on to whatever Netflix or Hulu, and I'm like, fuck, I still got to watch that.
Yeah, so I watched 21 Guns last weekend with Colin. I think I watched the other one when I was sick, like the Super Bowl. I think I watched it that day when I was sick. Because I don't sit down and watch a lot of TV. Like, when I go to bed, dude, I watch the same, 6 different stand-up comedy. And the reason I watch those is because I know that I'll fall asleep to them because I'm not going to get too engulfed in it.
Yeah, I watch Fresh Prince to go to sleep.
Yeah, like, if I watch a new show, I'm fucking up till 4 a.m. binge watching it.
Yes, it's
bad
very
news.
dangerous. I can't put something that I haven't seen on because I know that I will be invested. And if I watch that on like a Sunday afternoon, I'll pass right out. I know that. But if it's bedtime, then I'm
Yeah.
gonna stay up like I just did a rail of fucking coke.
Yeah, it's fucking rough. Anyway, Pat, we made it an hour. I made a joke. Oh, I didn't even get to tell you. So Pat was cleaning out his phone, right? Because
And
he has
tablet.
and tablet. You have to go
Pulling
into
double
your
duty
set.
this
So
morning.
I learned this with when we were doing the fairs. You have to
Okay.
go in to your photo settings, or if you go into your photos, right?
Yeah.
Now those all that deleted stuff that you deleted will stay
Yeah.
on your phone. You have to go to albums, go all the way down to the bottom, and you have to go to recently deleted, right?
And delete them.
And actually delete them because they'll stay on your phone for another 5 days or for
Okay.
30 days. So it actually doesn't free up the room until you delete those.
Tom, this is just my phone. This does not count my tablet. And I deleted more off of my tablet, I think, than I did my phone. I deleted 1,220 photos and 43 videos this morning.
Jesus Christ.
Which is why you guys got a lackluster timeline and a lackluster intro, because I started with, I was just going to grab a couple memes, and then I was like, oh, it says that my memory is low, my iCloud storage. So I was like, oh, I'll delete a couple things. And by the time I knew it, like 2 hours and 45 minutes had gone by. I hope you can hear those farts.
No.
So I was like, well, that's bad because the podcast starts in 15 minutes. I haven't written a timeline. I haven't written an intro. It was scary.
Yeah. So I made a joke to Pat that, well, I do like the freestyle episodes. Sometimes they're not our best work. I think this was a pretty good show, Pat.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
We had a pretty good conversation going here. So
the worst part about deleting these is now I'm scrolling through, like holding it down to delete everything.
No, you can hit select all.
Oh, what the fuck? Can I?
Yeah.
Okay, well, delete those 450. Select. Delete all. 813. But nice.
Yeah,
okay.
no. So make sure you do that in a tab.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Pat, if you get us out of here.
Number Niners, I say. Oh, Tom, I had a trivia game I'll save for next week.
Thanks for stopping the outro for that.
Number Niners, I say good day.